Well, folks, D23 has just info dumped all over us. We have found out the latest and greatest that's happening in the Marvel world, in the Star Wars world, in the Pixar world, in Disney animation, what's going on in the theme parks. You know, there's no other way to put it, man. It's a lot of info, and we're only here to give you the nethead's perspective. That's right. Of all the D23 info, what do we actually give a crap about? This is Netheads.
This is Netheads.
It's a tech podcast.
But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
Transmission incoming from the big giant head.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. We are back. Another edition of Netheads. My name is Will. No, you're still muted, sir. I didn't say you had to keep
And my name's Trent.
Very good. If you want to take part in the program, you can one of many ways. I'm sure there's a chat somewhere you can drop in or a message you could send from somewhere. I don't know anymore. The internet is so different. I have no idea, Trent. How do they take part in the program anymore?
Well, if they're watching it live, then that is the place you do it.
There you go. If you go to patreon.com/netheadsonair, our lovely Patreon subscribers get to enjoy us fumbling our way every week through our live recording of this very podcast with bonus content on the front and the back. So we give it to you from both ends, everybody, if you want to take part in the fun that way, which is true because there's also like a community chat in there and everything else, right? So all the things that the Patreon does. Speaking of which, Patreon subscriber of the week, Mark Wright. Thank you, Mark.
Hey, thanks,
for
Mark.
your continued contribution. You and all of our Patreon subscribers are the reason we are able to do this whenever the hell it is we feel like recording a program. Trent, D23 has happened this week. First of all, are you aware of what D23 is?
So D23 is maybe 5-6 years ago. They're like Disney's answer to having to compete with everyone else at Comic-Con, right? They're like, no, you know what? We've got a big enough audience. We've got enough product. We should just do our own con and hype it up the way we want with our own venue et al.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what it is, which is interesting because that does bring me to one of my very first points, which is it's very interesting the difference in Disney's strategy when they do have something like a panel at San Diego Comic-Con coming up, because they did actually make some big reveals during Comic-Con. You know, we found out Ryan Reynolds is going to be the Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because, like, his partner was in the original Ghost Rider, right? Eva Mendes is her name, I think. But, you know, we found out that they played some exclusive Doomsday coverage out of there. And I can't really remember what else because it's not important because we're in D23 land now. And, you know, nothing comes out of there practically, except for the clips that, like, social media puts out. Nothing comes out of D23, right? Or it comes out of San Diego Comic-Con.
Right, of Comic-Con,
whereas
yeah.
D23, like, right after they have announced it, get it out on the internet, boys.
Yep.
Come on, we gotta move them cereal boxes.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
Get a move on. Has any of the news that has fallen? By the way, it's amazing the way D23 has kind of like changed over the years, because it used to be kind of, I think, a very simple like insider information type gathering, and now it has become this multi-day event that people are cosplaying to. It's the Disney-centric SDCC, like you said, and I think based on what I've seen from media coverage this year, most definitely they have an audience that I would say it seems to damn near equal that of the attendance of San Diego Comic-Con, in my opinion.
Well, and yeah, when you think about just fandoms in general, like Disney, as far as owning the IP of all the fandoms that are at least American made, it's got to be at least half, if not 3/4.
Man, it is insane, and it is nuts. And some of the cosplays have been genius too. It's so cute when Disney adults get to go out and just have Disney fun and act all Disney loony.
Now, maybe you don't know. I don't know. What does the 23 stand for? The D makes sense to me. But
I have no idea.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know either.
Why would you pull that one on me?
I don't know. I
now
thought,
you're making us look like I'm telling people come here for the information.
I thought you might know.
No, I don't know. You want me to find out real quick? I can.
Well,
if you can cover for a
I
heartbeat
figured
and a half.
like one of our listeners is probably already chiming in the chat.
I mean, that's what you would expect. No. I like the way I say, if you could just cover for a minute, and then you're just staring at the camera. What does the 23 in D23 stand for? This is what we've resorted to. Google. Let me Google that for you. The D in D23 stands for 1923, the year Walt Disney founded what became the Walt Disney Company.
Okay.
And that is why, my friend, we are Disney adult adjacent and not actually Disney adults, because we couldn't like drop that knowledge.
Yeah, you've got to be like either like an animation nerd to know that one. Like that's not even park related.
I mean, I think with all of the coverage of, how like Steamboat Willie has entered into the public domain, I think there's still enough of a zeitgeist out there to kind of say, you know what? I think that people would be aware of when the Walt Disney Company was founded, or when the first this or that happened, right?
Yeah.
So just a thought. I don't know, but big news coming out of D23, Trent. Big news. The entire new cast of X-Men has been announced. We know
shit, really?
Yes, we know who our next X-Men are. All right. So spoilers if you haven't seen Spider-Man Brand New Day on its third weekend out. I don't know what to do with myself, Trent. It's the first weekend in 3 weekends that I haven't sat down and seen a Spider-Man Brand New Day.
A Spider-Man, yeah.
And how many times have you seen the Spider-Man?
I haven't seen it yet.
Get the fuck off my podcast,
yeah, I know.
man. Just get out of here.
That's my bad.
Why? My question is, why do you hate yourself that much?
I just...
Why do you hate yourself so much that you're not going to let yourself have a little bit of joy when it comes to your life? Here, let me...
early childhood programming?
Let me help.
I don't know.
Here, let me help bring a little more joy to your life.
Okay,
Trent.
thank you.
There we go.
Oh, we got a Lego person.
Yes. Now, we're talking serious Disney news, Trent, and I figured that me with glasses and a bald head just matches you. We needed something more serious.
Yes.
And so I needed to have like serious grown-up hair.
And that part is serious.
That is what we have achieved. And by the way, for those that are listening to the podcast, you're just going to have to hunt out the video, because I am wearing what is very clearly a head of Lego hair that has been, yes, Trent, custom sized for my head.
Yeah, it fits like a glove.
There's a reason why. Let me tell you the process really quick. For everybody that doesn't care about the 3D printing stuff and is here for the Disney stuff, let me tell you this really quick. What I have already, because there's a program on my phone, can't remember the name of it. This is the reason why we get no affiliate sales. But it lets you utilize the LiDAR on the iPhone to take a scan of something yourself.
Right.
So I did what anyone would do when you have these dumb kinds of ideas. I have a 3D scan of my head. So I was able to use it 3 times in this project. First, I found the Lego head of hair that I wanted. Then I imported the model. Then I imported my gigantic head. I got the 2 things aligned so they're in the right direction, and then I sized one up to fit on top of the other. Now, that's the first time that I'm using my head. Now, let me tell you the second time I'm using my head, Trent.
Okay.
The second time I'm using my head is I add it as a negative part, meaning everywhere that my head would exist, where it is touching the model, there will not be model. So I'm able to take the shape of my head and put it inside of this thing.
Okay.
And I'm able to take away the excess space. Now, it does take a little bit of trickery. I also did have to add a real part, which was basically, what is that? It's kind of like an elliptical shape, if you will.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
An ellipses?
I basically created a half circle.
Yeah.
That to fill any space between the model and where my head would be, and then I put the negative part up there so I stick my head up there, Trent, and then I subtract my head out from the model.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes in here. Now, the third way that I was able to use my head on this project, Trent, the third way that I was using my head was as a support blocker, because I don't want to waste filament supporting an area that doesn't really need it for the model to finish.
Right.
So I added that as a negative support object. And the most uncanny thing and the weirdest thing is that when you're doing all of this, you have to be looking at your head and face the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad I took it with my eyes closed, because seeing just the lifeless orbs of my eyes would haunt me down to my soul every time I did this.
Yeah, so it's not unlike a Greek statue where it's just the eyes, right? There's
But here's the other interesting thing. I have, apparently I've lost a little bit of weight, believe it or not, since I did that original scan. And I never would have thought fat would have translated to here, but you see this little extra wiggle room?
Yeah, got a little wiggle room.
Got a little wiggle room. So I lost a little, I got to do a new scan of my head, man.
Hey, that's good incentive.
It is. It really is. And speaking of which, by the way, Trent, when it comes to 3D printing, one of my favorite things. Right? One of my favorite things. This is everybody clicking off the internet because they're still not talking about D23.
They're like, "Where's the D23 stuff?"
Didn't you just say something about X-Men?
Who are the X-Men's going to be?
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the amazing filament that you get in the SliceWorks slice box. Take a gander there, my friend. That is some amazing filaments. And over here, they got their subscriber bonuses. You can get T-shirts and stuff for a discount.
Okay.
But the interesting thing, the filaments of the month are, in this case, it was a chocolate brown PLA, which, I don't know, I have an idea of what I might be able to use that for.
Yeah.
And then there's also this amazing one that's called that Mount Rushmore PLA. And what it is, it's a gradient similar to, Trent,
like a marbled to it, like a granite style.
But we don't have to be quite so serious right now because we're talking about
SliceWorks. Yeah. The question is, why so serious?
Allow me instead to put on my more festive summer balayage.
Goodness! Yeah,
right?
you're heading down to the beach for a beach time party.
It's a hair system. Okay, thank you.
It's a hair solution.
There you are. This is my summer balayage. Not only do you get those things, you always get candy and stickers in the slice box, but this month is an amazing thing because it's a DIY unclogging tool. From time to time, you might get a filament jam in your nozzle head.
Oh, okay.
And having something like this, which is a machine-worked piece of metal, this rod right here inside of this handle, and you're able to take your hot nozzle and you just kind of run this down into it, and it fills that void as it goes down, forcing all the crap out.
Catches it all out, yeah.
Oh, man. Every one of these accessories I use on a regular basis. I got some support ripping hooks. The glue, the CLA, I've been using for gluing everything. We just got some port tape. It's an amazing thing.
I'll bet it's one of those things for someone who's getting into 3D printing too, where it's like you wouldn't even know to look to buy something like this until you got it, right? That's kind of the intuitive part.
If you're a person that's into 3D printing or you know somebody that is, I'm going to give you the exact reason why you want the SliceWorks slice box, because this is the third month in a row, Trent, where I have opened up the slice box and the color of filament I just had to buy is in there. I didn't have this brown laying around. I bought this for the bit, my friend. Yeah. And I had it sitting. I had an even better chocolatey brown one sitting in my SliceWorks slice box. Go to, what is it? Oh, you go to sliceworks.com. What's the URL? I forgot.
Yeah, /netheads on air.
Yeah, all you got to do is go to thatwillwilkins.com. All the information is there. You can get 5% off your purchase or subscription to the SliceWorks, man. It is a thing. And be sure to use offer code thatwillwilkins at checkout to make sure they know that we were there. But that's the exact reason why you want to get that kind of thing for people, because it is just an excellent source of PLA that 9 times out of 10 you need. But the funniest thing to come out, and if you're wondering, Trent, why did I do this? This is one of the dangers of having a 3D printer, is that it's you did it because I can. Because I can, Trent.
And there's no other reason.
Exactly. And we've got so much news to go through. We are not even going to F with what is my purpose this week.
Yeah.
I think we've already determined the things that I have 3D printed, and what is their purpose? Absolutely none.
Oh, right.
No, I'm sure everybody believes this. Actually, one of the Agony Prime on TikTok, he came up with the thing that I need to do next. I'm tempted to use that granite printout so that it looks kind of like an interesting stone hair. Or I'm going to get a gray, and then I'm going to stencil in the type of art caricature here to make it shaded like a cartoon head of hair. And again, we still haven't talked about D23 yet. Sorry, guys. Okay. For the people that are like, oh, the entire beginning of the show is just a commercial. Sorry, guess it was. D23, we have heard about who our X-Men are. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, as I was saying, God, what eternity ago was that? We know who our Jean Grey is. I'll just put it
Yes, that
way.
one I know. That one I do know.
Exactly. Kit Connor will be playing Cyclops. Christopher Abbott will be Charles Xavier. Samara Weaving will be Emma Frost. That one leaked ahead of time. I heard about that on Friday. Indy Navarrete will be Rogue, and I think she might be one. She's actually known more for Broadway work.
Okay.
Or that may be Maya Boyd, who is Storm. It's one of those two. But here's the interesting one that we got to hear about is that apparently Adam Driver will be, and again, this is one of the things where where comic book characters are a bit on the nose with the name, almost embarrassingly slow. Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, he has the perfect body for Mr. Sinister. Which, and if you're not familiar with, they've done the Mr. Sinister story through the X-Men '97 stuff.
Yeah, that started to come in. That was in the first season, right? Near the tail end of the first season, we got an introduction to Mr. Sinister, which, when you think about it, like, this is one of the few ways where you can see the streaming services helping to contribute to the theatrical zeitgeist, right? Because if you're talking about something that you're introducing people to now in X-Men 97, and then you come out with the new X-Men movie in 2028 that has some of these concepts you've been introducing into them, then, like, you're helping. Maybe then your streaming service can just be considered part of your promotional costs.
You would think, but who knows?
Yeah. And I think that's coming out like in 2026 or 2028.
2028. Okay.
For the X-Men. What was some of the other big news? Well, they did show at D23, I think, the newer trailer for Doomsday that's very similar to the one that they showed at Comic-Con.
Yep.
However, this one already on the internet, released by them.
Yeah.
By the way, did you notice I put back on my serious hair because we were covering
because we're getting into some serious topics. Yeah, enough of that whimsy.
No, there's no time for a summer balayage right now. No, we need to be just straight brown serious.
Yeah.
Oh, don't put that on a t-shirt. That's gross. Okay. What else is happening in the world of the MCUs? They talk not of Ghost Rider whatsoever.
Right.
Which I found very interesting. But what they did talk about, and this is the one that intrigues me the most, and it's not quite MCU related, okay, is that we have a release date, time, and idea now because we got our first trailer for VisionQuest.
VisionQuest, that one, I did see that one come through, yeah.
October 14th on Disney+, and I was so trepidatious about this installment in what they are referring to as the I don't know what, I guess it's like almost in a way it's like the grief trilogy, but the trilogy that started in WandaQuest. They don't really seem to have an official name for it, I think. But this is the third installment. The first one was WandaVision. The second one was Agatha All Along.
Yeah.
Gave us another kind of installment and part of this. Even though when you think about it, it seems like it really is the kids' story because they were introduced to the kids in WandaVision.
Yeah. Their
stories are actually continued in Agatha All Along. And now it feels like almost we're going to get the culmination in VisionQuest. But it's very interesting that one of the things we saw out of that trailer is that part of it is going to be happening within an AI structured world that Vision retreats to within himself, this white Vision, which still not comfortable saying, but I mean, doesn't that really sound more like somebody's grand plan? Our white Vision.
It's almost like the final solution.
Yeah, it's like suddenly, wait a second, did we slip into DC and this is Red Dragon?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Okay, you're safe. It's okay here. You're in a safe space. You can say white vision here. I still wrong. But it was very interesting to see that because it turns out that like within there we do discover that there is a type of Voltron. No, not Voltron, you dipshit. Age of Ultron.
Ultron.
There is an Ultron presence there. It is played by the man himself, James Spader.
Okay.
And
okay.
like we see for just a moment Ultron, and then Vision says, "Human avatars only." And he converts to James Spader with a big bushy beard.
Oh,
and I'm
nice.
like,
Okay.
I'm so here for this now.
Okay.
I bring it on. Give me the Spader, because I am not a Spader hater, man. I'm a master Spader is what I am. Comfortable saying that, but VisionQuest gives me a problem. That's interesting.
It's fine.
So I'm really, I mean, I can't, words cannot even describe how excited I am for VisionQuest now. I going into it without any information and just hearing the things like Spader was going to be back and everything else, I was so hesitant.
Yeah.
But now, like, apparently of the AIs that were introduced that are within him, one of them is a version of, because Vision is kind of a combination of the Ultron programming, the Soul Stone, and the Jarvis program.
Correct.
So there is an instance of Jarvis within Vision.
Yeah.
Because that is his predecessor, which is the other reason why Ultron is in there as well. Excuse me, but there's also two AIs that are represented as bellhops that apparently are the robotic arms from Tony's lab. So one of them is Dummy.
Oh.
Is that not so adorable?
That's fun. Yeah.
Oh, that warmed my heart so much that we finally get a personification that's more than just the electronic of the dummy arm,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Which, by the way, was one of the cutest parts of No Way Home, is that finding out that arm got to live on with
Yes.
Peter Parker or at Happy's spiritual oasis.
Yeah.
So that part right there, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And then it's going to get better. So I'm super excited for it now. I didn't know what to think going into it, but this made me feel like a big warm hug had been given to me.
A big warm robotic hug.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But not the kind that accidentally calipers you in half.
No, but like one that would like, you know, that would behoove one with a plastic hairpiece.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. No. But interestingly that I did this, there's no like, I don't think, oh, no, wait a minute, there is. Trent. I finally have a connection for the stupid 3D printed thing on my head.
Okay.
One of the things announced from the Star Wars side of Disney, September 2nd, 2026, inspired by the Disney Plus original show, The Mandalorian, will be Lego Mandalorian.
Oh, cool.
There we go. Look at that. From the brink of obscurity to right on topic, my friend.
Bringing it right in.
I did. That's the reason. There was Lego news. We didn't need hair because we were serious. We had Lego news.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed now, man. It was right there in front of me. Okay, so we got that kind of news. We did get a trailer for Ahsoka Season 2.
Yes.
Which is dropping January 20th of 2027. We got our first look at Starfighter, which is the Sean Levy-directed Star Wars universe movie starring Ryan Gosling.
What? I haven't heard about this.
Well, and listen to who's in it, man. It's got Matt Smith, Mia Goth, Aaron Pierre, Amy Adams are all a part of its class. But yeah, and like what we see is a kid like approaching a tarp with some type of machinery under there, and then Ryan Gosling's like, what I said, not to touch anything. And he said, so this is the fastest starship in the galaxy? How come I've never heard of it? And he's just like, exactly. Or there's a reason for that. So he has what I think is an Empire prototype Starfighter.
Yeah.
That is the fastest. And what else does the story mean? No idea. But with Sean Levy involved, I think we at least have a certain guarantee. Actually, I have a prediction. If you go back and you watch the original Netflix original movie, The Atom Project.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to get, we will find that there will be Adam Project tones in the type of adventure we get from Sean leaving the Star Wars universe.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Also, there's going to be some type of Star Wars Fortnite connection regarding Smuggler's Run.
Sure. Makes sense.
I mean, I play
a
Fortnite,
new skin,
so
if you will.
maybe. I don't know. But Ahsoka season 2, pretty much the big news. I mean, and like park adjacent, because considering there are Star Wars elements there that we'll talk about later, there are going to be theme park updates, including a renovation of Tomorrowland. It's going to be getting a retrofit where they say there'll be more experiences or rides and more open space, which makes me speculate that they are going to kill the People Mover track finally. Because that is, if you've ever, and Trent, you've never been, I really feel like I need to take you to Disney.
Yeah.
We got to do this sometime.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be like, I'm going to have to look my 12-year-old daughter in the face and I'm like, you don't understand, honey. It's for a bit.
Yeah.
Right? You don't understand, man. We commit to the bit here.
Yeah.
And it's just got to be a dad trip with a guy trip over the weekend at Disneyland with just Will and Trent. I'm going to have to get you your own room, though. I'm not sharing a hotel room.
Okay, no, I accept that.
I just, no, you deserve your own space to shit is my whole point, right?
Yeah.
As do I. And no apology should be given. If you come by my room right after, that's on you. I was just being me.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah.
If I'm alone with the family, that's the reason for the business center bathrooms. That's where you go.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's out of respect of a common space. But if you don't have a common space, do as you please, do as you see fit when you see fit. Sorry, I don't know why I got stuck on this tangent. But since you've never been to Disneyland, Trent, everyone else will know what I'm talking about when I say, when you first walk into Tomorrowland, there is the big ride that used to be a rocket ship ride, and now it's this Captain EO-inspired rocket ship ride. And then there is just this long fucking corridor that is bisected by all of the supports for the old People Mover track, which used to load and unload on top of this structure that's in the middle of not in the middle of Tomorrowland, but the end of that damn walkway.
Okay.
And it houses nothing now, absolutely nothing. I think there's a shop in the very basement of it, the bottom of it, that for a while used to be Disney Radio. If you really want to go back in history, at just a couple of years, recent history, the late 1900s. Look, I don't know why people say that. It's choosing violence. But all of that just is like a gigantic obstacle down this entire corridor. And I have wished for its demise for years now. Because when that park is busy, that strip is just unbearable. Because of that very reason, you can only have effective travel in this limited space, because with the supports for the People Mover sticking out, like people can at best bisect from one lane into the other, but it's not a functional travel space. It's a pain in my ass. Tomorrow World is a gigantic pain in the ass anyway. It's a phenomenal waste of space at this point, given the number of things that have come and gone out of it. I don't know why I'm on such a Tomorrowland rant, but I am. I apologize. I'm sorry.
No, it's all fine. Because in my brain, Tomorrowland should just be modeled after Howard Stark's his vision of the future.
Oh, with his World Fair?
Uh-huh.
I mean, in a way, I almost thought Tomorrowland should just become a comment of irony, right?
Right,
An ironic comment.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's like, this is the future we thought we were going to have, and that's just the way it stays. You know, because now it becomes just as archaic as the other elements of the park.
Yes, exactly.
It should never be updated.
It's a time capsule.
But they do need to do something, because like underneath the entrance to Tomorrowland, there is a gigantic theater that housed the Captain EO experience, and then
really?
And then it housed Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, and that's just like a gigantic waste of space now because it's not utilized.
Yeah.
The area behind that used to be a continuation on the back of the gift shop in Tomorrowland was an entire arcade, a 2-story arcade, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
That's gone. Dunked out, man. Not pointless to maintain. Which I understand, because for what you pay for Disneyland, you don't want your kids just in a corner burning quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's too bad there's not a way to like work in like some sort of like gaming pass for the day though. For that person that might be a little less into the rides or whatever, and but then you just cram it with all your property games.
It's funny you mentioned that because Disneyland this year did try during the summer lull, as it were, utilizing some time by selling evening-only Disneyland passes. So in other words, you couldn't be at the park all day, but at like 5 p.m. on, you could come here because, at that point, all of the people that rope dropped, they're falling off for dinner and passing out in their hotels.
Yeah.
Or you got a lot of people that are watching the events and not utilizing the rides.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense. Would that be a good money-making opportunity? That sounds more like a downtown Disney type feature where you don't have to be inside the park to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you don't need to you just need the space. You don't need to have people attending it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the funny things that happened at downtown Disney. There used to be a restaurant called the Jungle. What was the name of it? River something cafe. Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest. Oh, that was a Disney thing.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't a Disney thing, but there was a Rainforest Cafe in downtown Disney.
Oh.
It went out of business, and now it's like a Star Trader location that's specific with Star Wars content within it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I brought that up, but that's why I'm saying the arcade would be similar to that. It's like, let's utilize some place that we just can't seem to resell this square footage.
Yep.
And that way, I mean, imagine that's almost in a way a parent's blessing, if you will. If you have that right next to like a bar,
totally, dude, or
a cafe.
Yep.
There you go. Kids are playing video games. I'm sitting here,
and there's a glass wall I can sit and make sure that they haven't been taken.
Exactly. Yep. There you go. We're gonna hand stamp every child.
Yep.
The parent gets a matching one. Put it under UV light. If it doesn't match, fuck off.
No, sorry, it's not yours. Put it back.
Nope.
Nice try.
Good evening, Michelle Kuzo. So happy to see you. I was so hoping for a new Epcot country, but alas, no. That is the true. And Michelle, I'm so sorry. But, to us, Disney is Disneyland. I still have yet to set foot in Disney World. So plus I got a little bitter about some of the news coming about Disney World. By the way, I'm sorry, guys. Pixar news, you got Coco 2 coming out November 2029. Incredibles 3 is coming to us June 16th. Ghost Market, a new Pixar original, is March of 2028, and March 5th of 2027, Mark Ruffalo will be the title character in Gatto, which is a story about a cat. I don't know, I guess. I'm guessing from the name. So those are the things coming up for Pixar and Disney Animation. They teased Frozen 3, and who the fuck cares about what else? There you go. There's that D23 news I promised, guys. But more realistically, the Disney World news always kind of mystifies me because Disneyland is a very finite thing, right, Trent? There's only so much.
Yeah, it's locked essentially, which was what the whole Star Wars expansion was why it was such a big deal.
Well, interestingly enough, actually, I think it was 2 years ago at D23, they actually announced an expansion where they were working with the city of Anaheim in order to move forward with another expansion where they would be taking over more land across the street and repurposing it.
Oh, okay.
So they are going to have some Disneyland expansion, but like right now, actively, there is going to be one of the things they did show was some of the concept work for the Pandora Avatar experience that's going into California Adventure, which a lot of people are actually bitter about because they're having to kill the Monsters, Inc. ride and that space in order to utilize it. I get it because that whole Hollywood area was just underutilized. Used to be Hollywood Limousines before it became the Monster Inc. ride, and I'm giving you way too much damn information. It is a bit of property that's not properly being utilized, but it would be nice that they weren't getting rid of the Monsters Inc. ride, which was there the entire time my kids have been going to Disneyland.
Well, and that's just like what a good property that can live forever. You know what I mean? Like that will never go out of style.
Right. Exactly. Oh, well. But some of the other things that, like, to a Disneyland purist, hearing these kind of things happen at Disney World, I'm like, ooh. So the large body of water that's within Disneyland that surrounds Tom Sawyer Island is called the oh God, what is it called? I always blank on things, but I like even had it. The Rivers of America,
okay,
is what it's referred to, and I think Disney World has a counterpart, but they are going to totally revamp that into a Cars theme. So there's going to be a Cars experience, a Cars ride, and so that whole area is getting repurposed in a Cars theme, and I'm like, you're messing with the rivers of America? But,
Yeah.
it's Disney World.
Yeah, and there's only going to be like one river left by the end of the summer, so it would just be River of America.
River America. But they're doing that, and I'm just like, oh my God, how could they do? But, it's my brain doesn't understand. When I see people like showing footage of Disney World and they're showing where they're getting onto Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm like, that is not right. You need to be, for some reason, walking into the ground floor level of a French Quarter style building, not whatever the funk that is. It always throws me. So, I don't know how connected or how hardcore people are about Disney World, considering it's always been growing in a different function.
Sure.
But
because but they have just like, they own a ton of space though in Florida for Disney World, correct?
Well, that's the exact reason why Walt went out there, is because he didn't like the commercialism that was popping up around Disneyland. So he wanted to buy some cheap land in another location where he could control the growth around it.
Okay.
That was the original intent. Tom Sawyer Island is in full construction mode for Cars Land. See? So no longer having... But I get it, because how many fucking people go to Tom Sawyer's Island anymore? I tell you, busiest days on Disneyland, I sure as hell see a lot of open space when I look across them waters, Trent.
Yeah.
And Trent's just like, you realize you've been talking about Disneyland for 20 minutes and I've never been.
And in my brain, I'm thinking now, how could they interpret the new Percival book, James, into it, which might be problematic. I don't know.
Well, since I have no frame of reference on what the hell you're talking about,
it's a book that Jim from Huckleberry Finn. It's told through his perspective.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, hello.
Yeah. And I mean, it's won a ton of awards. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. But yeah, so I was just like, I wonder how they could do that.
I don't think they could.
No, not
Trent. I don't think they could do that.
Definitely not in Florida, at least.
I don't know how they could whitewash that. Haha. Because, that's what they did with the fence.
Yes. But that was Tom. Yeah. As Tom did.
Yes. Or was it Huck Finn that tricked people into painting the fence?
No, it was Tom. Because Tom was taken in. Yeah.
Yeah, what's funny is I think in my entire lifetime, I've only been to Tom Sawyer Island once, and I've been to Disneyland more times than I can count. So, I mean, not that I'm like, I've been to Disneyland, but for a grown-ass adult who's mostly had to fund all but one of their trips there, I think I've done pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I have a membership in the Disney Vacation Club, which is their timeshare.
Oh.
And it's not like I've got one for the suites at Disneyland Hotel. Not that I've looked into it at all.
Because that wouldn't be just so convenient.
I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I'm just saying, I don't know what to say. That's, from my perspective, Trent, that's all the important news that kind of came out of D23. Did they,
and maybe this might just be so in my wheelhouse that I don't know if you even saw it, if they had, or at least talked about the release earlier this month of Marvel's Tacone Fighting Souls.
I don't recall hearing anything about that.
Yeah, so this is it just launched last week, and it's a alternative, same idea of Street Fighter, but now getting back to that good old fashioned Marvel vs. Capcom 3 style animation. And it's all based off of the 2012 Avengers vs. X-Men stuff.
I have scrolled through all of the information that I had compiled, Trent, and I don't see anything about it.
Well, that's sad. If you are on a PS5 or a PC, I highly recommend looking at it.
Wait a minute. They did say there was something about a Wolverine game.
Oh, yes, there is a Wolverine game coming out. There's a Hydra, 1943 Rise of Hydra game. I can't remember what the other games were I saw that have been announced.
By the way, I forgot to mention, right up our alley, I think in 2027, 2028, they're finally opening 2 expansion rides inside of Avengers Campus.
There's an Avengers Campus?
Well, yeah, that's in Disneyland.
Okay.
They wiped out the Bugs Life area. Oh. They wiped that out to make room for Avengers Campus.
Okay.
And right now they've got web slingers, which is a simulated, you're helping Spider-Man save everything going wrong at this special lab ride. And like,
that sounds amazing.
I really need to take you to Disneyland, man. This is just, I can't believe the things you don't know about.
Okay.
Oh, anyway. So they're having a new one come out, which is basically like a ride where you're riding along with Iron Man, and then there's another one which is a multi-character fight element ride.
Okay.
Infinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab is what those two are.
Now, are these like California Adventure style Star Tours things, or are they more interactive?
The best way to describe them you have no frame of reference.
Yeah.
How do I? Web Slingers is very much similar to the Carnival ride for toys as well, Midway Mania, where it's a 3D experience. You have to wear 3D glasses, you're looking at a screen, and you're motioning to certain parts of the screen.
Okay.
The only difference is that in Midway Mania, you have a little cannon that you're pulling the string on to shoot, which the fastest action to do that is like this. And I'm just saying I'm very good at the game. And that's all I'm saying. I'm very good at Midway Mania. I always win, which means other people do. Wink, wink. So I'm really good at Midway Mania, but with Web Slingers, it actually just tracks your hand. And a lot of people get a full bicep workout going like this because they want to thwip.
Yeah, but you don't need to.
You can do a karate chop,
yeah,
and it's just as effective, if not more. Which again, I score high on that one, but not as impressive. So that's what the Web Slingers is like. And I think, and you're moved in a cart along a track, and it's constantly changing your orientation to what side you're facing where the screen is. So you really feel like there's a lot of shit going on.
Oh, okay.
But with this Iron Man one, like it's kind of like, I think, a coaster experience. But I do say I have to be jealous because Disney World in Animal Kingdom is getting a new Indiana Jones adventure that has Harrison Ford's likeness licensed for it. Because when I eventually take you to the parks, Trent, and you ride Indiana Jones, well, I don't even remember what the adventure is called. The ride is called.
Do we get chased by a giant boulder?
That does happen in one part, yeah. But on the Indiana Jones ride, which is what everybody calls it at Disneyland, where was I going with this? Oh, you'll when you see the Indiana Jones that present on that ride, you're like, oh yeah, nobody wanted to pay for the likeness here, did they?
Oh,
you
really?
You don't. Okay, that's Indiana Jones. I'll take your word for it. It's like it's a soap opera, and somebody suddenly said, "This obscure gentleman will now play the part of Indiana Jones."
Yeah. So it's not, and it's like part of the ride. It's not like a cast member that they've got coming to do the.
No, he's
speaking.
there at least. That likeness is present at least 3 points in the ride.
Yeah.
There's the point where he helps divert you. There's the point where he is managing the boulder, and there is the post-event recap.
Okay.
So, which I love that game. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it, though. Oh, it's because there's a microphone in front of my face. That's what always happens, right? Anything new or any other curiosities you may have for D23 as I'm just mindlessly thumbing through the information?
No, I think that's. I mean, and they didn't announce any changes to their streaming platforms. That's just got me so worried.
No, I mean, other than like there's going to be a few different products that are going to be Disney Plus originals, right? Because like you got Ahsoka and you've got Ahsoka. I'm really looking forward to actually, based on what we saw.
Yeah. I'm just since that report came out that just showed how much money they are losing. Out of maintaining the distribution of the servers and for streaming, it's just like, oh, they're going to cut it soon. Well,
and one of the things that people were shocked about in the past week and a half, I think, Trent, that you may not be aware of, but Wonder Man, the Disney Plus original, that it immediately got a pickup for season 2. 4 months later, they're like, you know what? We haven't convened the writer's room on it yet. Better not. So that's one of those things where they're like, we really think there's something here, but we're not willing to back it with our hard-earned dollars.
Yep.
Which is a bummer because the guy whose name I can't pronounce that is the star of the show He even, before he accepted the role, he literally said, I've got to talk to Kevin. And he said, this is, if I do this, this is my one bite at the Marvel apple. So, is it going to be worth it? And Feige told him it's going to be worth it. So does that mean we'll see Wonder Man somewhere else? Or does it just mean Feige was saying what he knew at the time to be true?
To be true, right? Yeah. Well, and again, like, man, but and it is. We're seeing the same actor do Tony Stark and Doom, so who knows,
right?
What's possible?
I mean, the only thing I hope, by the way, in regards to this entire Doom thing, is realistically, I really hope he just never tapes off the mask, right? So, like, Steve Rogers has no idea that Victor Von Doom looks just like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that's always been such a fun part of the comics, is that no one's really sure what he looks like.
Yeah.
Some people assume he's badly damaged. Other people assume it's all psychosis and there's no damage to his face at all, but that's what he sees.
It depends on what part of the canon that you came in at, because I remember there was some point where I was reading, and this was like official published comic book material, where it was recounting like Doom's life, and the terrible scarring that was present on his face was one scratch. So in other words, he viewed his face as being perfect. And for one small bit of it to be marred is just as bad as all of it being marred. To literally his reaction upon seeing the one scratch and this frustration was to take the still molten hot mask and put it on his face.
Yeah, see, like that's what I'm saying. Like, no one should ever see Doom's face.
No,
ever.
I don't think so. I don't really think so. And plus, all of the emotional power that has is almost lost on us, the audience. And if you're like, we may sit here and go through headcanon all day, wondering, oh my God, what would it be like when Captain America sees he looks just like Tony Stark? But now you've already played that scenario in your head out like 14.1 million different ways to find and it doesn't matter because you're like that. What would have been better would be like what we experienced in Spider-Man Homecoming, where you go through this entire movie and Spider-Man is building up this confrontation with the Vulture, and this is happening. And then finally at the point where he's most humbled and is admitting to the fact, well, I guess I'm just out of the hero game because I bungled it so bad, is this gigantic reveal that we're so excited for Peter Parker to be going to the homecoming dance with Liz, this girl that he has adored since the beginning of this story for us 90 minutes ago. And the front door opens and her dad is the Vulture, right? That's the kind of reveal I would have wanted to find out that it's Robert Downey Jr. underneath the mask.
Right.
All the novelty is lost. I don't need to ever see his face. Let him just be behind there.
Yes. No, I agree. In fact, superior foes of Spider-Man, one of the big main story arcs is that Doom at one time hired someone to paint his naked visage, and then he killed the artist so that no one would ever see it, but he would have this, and they're trying to steal it. The painting, like through the whole series, no one ever gets to look at the painting. Like it's such a good MacGuffin.
Sorry, I just have to ask though, is the painting in any way like of Dorian Gray order, where it's also keeping him alive?
Who knows? Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Well, that's a lot of the things that are really interesting in what we are seeing. And, now you're starting to see people that are coming out in regards to how much they truly know about the comics lore, right?
Right.
Because everything you've seen represented in Hollywood so far is just that Victor Von Doom may be as smart, if not smarter than Reed Richards. and then just one way or another becomes overly technology enabled.
Right.
Whereas like the Doom in the comics,
yes.
totally different. Yes,
He's
brilliant.
But he's also adopted all things dark magic.
Exactly. He is a technologist. He is maybe just 1 degree shy of Sorcerer Supremedom level. So he knows everything. And I apologize if I'm repeating myself, right? But like one of the things that was speculated once we originally got some wind of his costume and we started to see photos come out of Comic-Con, like one of the most breathtaking moments that we've seen is that Thor is full on coming at him with Stormbreaker, and then Doom just does the 2-finger stop that holds Stormbreaker right there. But one of the things that can be seen on the medallions on his chest, one of them looks very similar to Mjolnir, as though he has already done a preventative charm against attack from the God of Thunder.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's another one that kind of counters Captain Marvel. So, you know, he may be a technologist, but he is also massively using magic to his benefit. Not to mention, if he has already done this, that's how many steps ahead he is as well.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't wait to. The more we get close to Avengers Doomsday, the more excited I am to see it. But it's merely for the spectacle of seeing it. I got to be honest, man. I'm not really sure Marvel has earned this Avengers movie yet.
No. This is a total cash in on 10 years old nostalgia.
Yeah, because that's all they can do at this point.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this is my own take on things, but like, just let the Fantastic Four be in their own universe for like 3 movies. Let them do their own thing in this fun, weird, wacky universe they've created before you suck them into the rest of the MCU.
Yeah, that would be nice. It would have been nice to maybe they get to go back. Trent, who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, that's the thing, man. When you look at I can't believe I'm still wearing this damn shit on my head. I'm sorry, but I can't get over Will's headpiece. Oh, Michelle, you missed the. I'll bring back just for you my summer balayage look. It's a hair system. There's this one, but you know, sometimes a gradient isn't appropriate.
You know, if only John Cena had known that this was an option prior to the invasive surgeries he went through to get hair on his head. This, you know,
right?
he could have had a style for every day.
Not to mention there is a mild protective factor involved.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I've now adorned the spikier dark-haired coif that matches my summer balayage.
Yeah, it's more Vegeta-esque for the Dragon Ball players.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Or, you know, somebody even told me, too, if it were just a little more spikier in blue, I would be someone else from some other anime or something. Like, okay, well, but, you know, it is an interesting adventure to put these things together. And it's an interesting challenge to make a thing that is formatted literally for a Lego brick to fit on a human head.
Yeah, I know. That to me is bonkers.
Well, what we really need is a 3D scan of your head so I can send you some hair as well.
Ooh.
Because this is the funniest part. Look at the unnatural surface right here from where my head indents in.
Oh, wow, that really is.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm honestly speaking, I think when you see Spider-Man Brand New Day, you'll know that there are some smart heads at the table.
Okay.
But like realistically speaking, this Avengers, in a way, I guess, well, no. Like, did they really do anything to earn the first Avengers movie? It was just kind of the first Avengers movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because there were movies establishing things, but...
Yeah, we basically just had, like, everyone had their own thing, and then we had Nick Fury tying it all together, and then it happened.
Yeah. And so now...
And then in between, we got to care about the characters in their own individual movies again, right?
I mean, plus, let's not forget, this was all a massive pivot from the Kang direction after the Jonathan Majors incident.
Yes.
So, you know, I understand I think in the long run, they're just like, all right, well, I think we're going to go this route, guys. It's our easiest pivot point, and it'll be a nice palate cleanser going into the next group of things that we're going to do. So I'm hoping that's the case, but...
Yeah.
We'll see. Because once again, still, how does Eternals play into any of this? Has anyone forgotten that there are Celestials that right now are holding Earth in judgment?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we just supposed to forget about that? I'm not forgetting about it, Trent.
No, nor
The hair
should we.
never forgets.
Yeah.
That's just how you want your hair to sound.
Yeah. Get a knock out of it.
Once again, pure example of why just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Right? Trent, I think the dead horse has chimed in and enough's enough already.
Yeah.
I think it's time to call it for this episode of Netheads. But I want to thank everybody for joining us and joining in the conversation. Feel free to share your comments, your opinions. I'm guessing we're only on YouTube, so, in the comment section below, because it's not like I'm bothering to publish anywhere else.
Yeah.
And, let us know your thoughts. What did you take out of D23? I have to admit, man, what I took most of all is that I would actually be interested in going to D23 the next time it's in Anaheim, just from the whole social experience. They have an entire vendor floor that are different skinned things. Like they had an entire model, Trent, or they had an experience or what do they call it? Not an initiation, not an injection, not an installment, an installation.
There we go.
They had a TVA, so Time Variance Authority installation. And apparently the set was all jacked up. The implication is that Doom done busted his way to get what he wants out of there.
Oh, okay.
And the entire time, like all the people working the installation, they're like, no, everything's fine. Everything is as it should be. Everything's good.
Yep, this is just fine.
We haven't heard anything whatsoever about anything. Moving on. So they had that. They had like a Disney store, Disney shop, and all the displays for new park experiences and the like. It sounds like it would be a real blast to go to now.
Yeah, no, I think it would. Yes, it would be. Yeah, and just as efficient as I'm told is all the parks, I can only imagine their con will equally be efficient.
Yeah, I
And
would
people
imagine
moving,
so.
right?
I would
Yeah.
imagine so. But I have to admit something, Trent. I really have to admit something. And I got to get serious again about this. Okay. And I am dead serious for all of the pain in the ass that it would be, right? I am dead serious about the fact that I've got to take you to Disneyland and we have to document the entire experience.
Yes.
It's just like, a 40-year-old man-child's first visit to Disneyland. Right?
I don't have any money. I'm just a baby.
Exactly. No, we can go shopping at the end of the day. We're not carrying crap all day.
Uh-huh.
No, you cannot get a lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge, but you can make your own over in the exit from Star Tours.
Oh, really? You
It's
can make
much
your
cheaper.
own? You can make your own there?
Oh, yeah, but it's just like cheap little
yeah.
flashlights
Yeah.
with extendable
Right.
things.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that would be great. I honestly think that is one of the goals that we should. It would be a proper use, I think, of the Patreon.
Yeah,
support
and
would be.
I mean, and maybe we open it up and just be like, hey, this is the day we're going to be there. If you happen to be there,
It's Netheads Day at Disneyland.
very unofficial.
and 4 gazillion attendees will say, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, and we'll be like, thanks for coming. And we just thank everyone for coming on our day.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter if they're there or not. And then, of course, we've got to explain to these unfortunate people that are showing up in basketball attire. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not that netheads.
no, different nethead, different
netheads altogether,
Sorry.
guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
So sorry.
as long as you don't go in March, we'll be fine.
Doesn't it look like I'm trying to be like one of those K-pop boys?
I'll be honest, like from here, it looks normal. Well, damn it. Damn it.
I mean, it doesn't move at all, but your hair, we're referring to the fake hair again, just so
Yeah, no,
everyone
it
who's
does.
just
It
listening to
does.
the
It
podcast
looks-
knows what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
it does. Like I pull away from the camera and wait, hold on. I'm taking my glasses off. Now I can't tell.
Now it's just a brown head of hair.
Now I'm just like, damn, Will, you got
And-
some sweet hair, dude.
And by the way, can I tell you the whole reason why this exists is because honestly speaking, on a legitimate work phone call, I brought up seeing a guy jokingly doing this, and then my manager said, "Oh, well, I fully endorse you 3D printing up hair." And my director is about to go out on maternity leave this week.
Oh, nice.
So
Yes.
I'm like, I'm going to show up to every
Yep.
meeting every day with a different thing of Lego hair.
You know, I think I saw that video, but he like the guy printed them out for all of his colleagues to put on at work.
Yeah,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's 100 variations, sir. I'm not the first one to put Lego on my head, and I won't be the last.
Sure.
Although now I think my life's goal is to either find or design a head of Rick Sanchez hair.
Oh, I'm sure someone's done it, right?
Right?
Like
Because it's just spikes coming out.
Yep.
And if not, I've got a 3D model of him right up there. I got a mug.
You're good to go.
I can do a photorealistic one in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I can figure it. I can do this, man.
Yep.
I'm going to do this. I mean, it's Rick Sanchez out. And they're like, that's not Disney. No, it's definitely not.
Nope.
Sorry about that,
Nope.
guys.
Sorry.
But thank you very much for chiming in. Again, don't forget, go to thatwillwilkins.com. Click the link for SliceWorks. Use offer code thatwillwilkins, 5% off your purchase, man. Because seriously, this granite filament on its own is just amazing. Matt Rushmore. I love the name, too. Matt Rushmore. Well, that's really close, dude. Also, thank you, Mark Wright, our Patreon supporter of the week. We appreciate all of our Patreon supporters. If you want to hear your name mentioned on the show, go to patreon.com/netheadsonair. You'll be way less baffled by your camera than Trent ever is. And thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate your time, effort, and energy. Until next time, if I do it on my side, does it mess with it at all?
No, I hope not. That would suck.
Can you imagine? I'm just suddenly like wide, and we're seeing that you have no pants on. That's not fair. Until next time, guys, my name is Will.
And my name is Trent.
And we will definitely be back soon. All right, took your line. I'm sorry. You want to say something?
No, I like it when you say it. It's fun.
Okay.
This is Netheads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker.
Signing off. Resume normal functions in 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.
This has been a Smodcast production. Smodcast Podcast, using our mouths on you since 2007.